Have you ever lost out on an amazing opportunity because of indecision? I have many times. But over the last couple of years, I've made a realization that's completely changed the way that I make decisions. And now I consider myself someone that just does it. In 2022, I was still living with my parents and I'd been in the same job for years. Life was getting a bit stale and I was ready for some change. So, I quit my job and I moved to London. I'd always liked London as a tourist, so I thought, why not live there? And at first, it was amazing. I had everything I could possibly want on my doorstep. But after a while, the novelty started to fade away, and I started to realise that London probably wasn't for me after all. Everything in London is super expensive, and every day I find myself going, how much? And the people in London are always so busy. They're always on their way somewhere and they're always minding their own business. And I was the weirdo on the train, smiling at people. That's not allowed in London. There's a long list of reasons why I didn't like living in London. But the point is, I like London as a tourist, but not as a resident. So just 6 months later, I was back at home and I even had my old job back. This whole experience made me realise something. There are only two kinds of decisions. There are reversible decisions and permanent decisions. Most decisions we make are reversible. Take London for an example. I quit my job, I moved to London and there got another job. That sounds pretty permanent and pretty daunting, but it wasn't. Just 6 months later I was back at home and I had my old job back. Of course, there's always the chance that you can't live in the house that you moved out of, and there's always the chance that you can't get your old job back, but you can live in a house in the same area and you could get a similar job in the same industry. London is an extreme example, but we make reversible decisions in everyday life. Say you're thinking about painting your room orange, or perhaps you're considering starting a new routine, or maybe you're even thinking about starting a YouTube channel. Just do it. These are all reversible decisions. If you don't like the colour of the room, you can change it. If the routine doesn't work out, you can go back to your old routine. If your YouTube channel turns out not to be for you, you can delete it. They are all reversible decisions. Of course, some decisions are permanent, such as having a tattoo or having kids. They cannot be undone. And some decisions are reversible, but at a much higher cost. For example, I quit my job and I moved to London, but that would have been much harder if I had a wife and kids to think about. And so now whenever I'm unsure about anything, I ask myself, is this permanent or reversible? And if it's reversible, I just do it. The pros of just doing it far outweigh the cons of not doing it. Take London for example. You may think I'd regret it because I didn't like it and I moved back home. But that's not the case. In that 6 months, I learnt so much about myself that I wouldn't have otherwise. Because I moved to London, I finally quit drinking after years of trying. In a new environment with new friends, it was suddenly easy. Because I moved to London and I was looking to meet new people, I discovered Toastmasters, an amazing community that I'm still part of here in Sheffield. But if I hadn't moved to London, I wouldn't have had any of these amazing experiences and I'd probably still regret it to this day thinking, what if? When I look back on my life, all my biggest regrets are not decisions that I made, but decisions that I did not make. I regret not moving to Australia. I regret not leaving home earlier. I regret not changing career earlier. And so, if you're considering painting your room orange, just do it. If you're thinking about starting a new routine, just do it. And if you're considering starting that YouTube channel, just do it.